I'm Dean Small. My father, Ken Small, discovered and recovered this Sherman tank from the seabed in 1984. It was quite a battle for my dad to raise this tank. The problem being that the first thing he had to do was to own it. And that took many years, many phone calls to the Pentagon, many official visits. It was really difficult. But eventually, once he had done that, the job of recovering the tank began. And it was then my dad already knew that things had gone on here locally, and he learnt that it was basically to do with practice landings for D-Day. So this egged him on, and eventually, having recovered the tank, this was the moment when many of the surviving veterans of Exercise Tiger, the disaster that took place, started to come forward. It's a Sherman duplex drive tank. It was amphibianized. It was designed to float on the water behind a sort of canvas jacket that was inflated around it. It had two propellers at the rear of the tank, and they were very good, although this one in particular, there were all sorts of theories about what happened to it, but basically, due to a bad servicing of the tank, it wasn't properly sealed underneath. So when it drove off the landing craft, approximately 3/4 of a mile off the shore, it directly sank. All of the 5 crew members got off the tank, none were lost, but that's where the tank lay for many, many years. The tank itself, when it was recovered in 1984, it was coated with a product called Furtan. At the time, it was the leading edge rust preventer. It was a converter of rust. It was pressure washed under very high pressure and then coated with this Furtan product. Since then, it's been painted every year with a water-based black paint, a multi-surface paint, and it is decorative. It doesn't do anything to prevent corrosion, and obviously over many years there is a corrosion issue with the tank, mainly from the inside out, but it does look amazing once it is painted. But naturally, especially in this environment where we're right by the sea and the salt air, etc., you know, it is beginning to show signs of age now, without a doubt. Although interestingly, if we come around to this side of the tank, what always amazes me is the wheels here. These are actually rubber, these tyres, and of course they're in perfect condition. And even for several years after the tank came up, there was still fuel coming out of the filler caps. You can actually see a little bit of marks here from that. But it is definitely looking in need of a bit more care. And we try very hard to do what we can to preserve it for as long as possible, and many people have been very understanding and helpful. But it is without doubt a battle, you know, to get the things done to it that you need to do, because naturally there's the funding of that. And so, but we do our best, and as I say, you know, it's important that it stays here for as long as possible.